What up, G Life? It's your boy MC Shadow back at you with another video. Make sure you guys like, make sure you guys comment, make sure you subscribe to the channel, share if possible because it does help on my channel. You know what I mean? Click the like and the subscribe. It's free, it don't cost anything, and you will be helping my channel out a lot. Now, when I break down these videos, am I no way glorifying or bragging or boasting about this life? It's stupid. You get nothing out of it. It's better to stay in school. You know, I constantly, say that over and over right here because, it's 100% true. All facts. You know what I mean? That's the real, solid, real true shit. You know what I mean? One hundo. Nobody's making up nothing. You know what I mean? They're not just supposed to say that and shit like that. Nah, that's 100%. Anywho, but for the simple purpose of that, this is what my subscribers ask for. I break down these topics. You know what I mean? I owe it to my subscribers that, my channel's even possible. So obviously, if they have questions, me, it's only, my right to, answer the question of my viewers. So they ask about gang signs. What is the purpose of the gang signs? And how does that work and stuff like that? Well, it's a little bit different with Hispanic gangs than it is with black gangs. I know black gangs have like stacking, you know what I mean, where they throw a bunch of like signs or whatever. Hispanic gangs don't really do that. I mean, there is some that do that. You know what I mean? I personally don't know of any homie that does that. But there's neighborhoods that do that and they do exist. But normally a neighborhood always just throws up just the letter that they represent. Like my neighborhood, throws R, we represent the R, or the A, the N, whatever, vice versa. They'll just throw the letter that their neighborhood starts with. Or if they're able to throw it up just with one hand, all together, like in my neighborhood when we throw up the CR. So certain neighborhoods, do it like that. But as in like all these, hand signals and stuff like that, nah, we're not doing all that, bro. We're not doing all that. I know that there's gangs out there that do that. I don't know how that works because I'm not from those neighborhoods to tell you, why they do that or how that works. You know what I mean? I don't know nothing about that. All I know is that we're not going to be doing all that, my boy. You know what I mean? Like if the enemies pass by, we'll throw the letter up to let them know, what neighborhood we represent. Let them know where we're from. You know what I mean? In case they want the static. You know what I mean? It's to let, people know, what you're repping in case they want any funk. You're right here and you're saying what's up. You know what I mean? You're pretty much, you're asking for it. You're not afraid, for whatever comes your way. You're down to deal with the repercussions and the consequences and all that's about to come your way. You know what I'm saying? And homies have pride in their neighborhood, so when they're at the club and maybe they get a little tipsy or stuff like that, they start throwing up their signs and stuff like that. I normally don't do that. You won't catch me in the club doing that. You know what I mean? But I feel like there's a time and place for everything, and that's not the time and place. You know what I mean? Because if you're at the club, you're not there to gangbang. You went there to club. If you're at Disneyland, you're there to, spend family time. If you're at Jack in the Box, you were there to eat. You know what I mean? Like, homies weren't gangbanging, to be acting like if they were gangbanging. Like, I caught that nigga got slipping. Like, damn, serio, homie? Like, where at in the hood, in our hood? Like, oh, well, at the club. Hey, my boy, you weren't gangbanging, homie. You were clubbing it, dog, and you just happened to bump into the rival there. Don't act like you was out there gangbanging, my boy. Vatos over here telling the story like if he was out there really putting in that work, homie. Vato went to the club and he just happened to bump into a rival. Same one they're like, yeah, I caught that fool slipping. Like, we're at Disneyland. Man, my boy, why? Homie, you were there with your family, dog. No, there's a time and place for everything, dog. What kind of shit is that? You know what I'm saying? Hispanic gangs Southern Hispanic gangs have like a little bit of morals, you know what I mean? You don't do stuff to people when they're with their family, with their kids, with their girl. You wait till you catch them slipping by themselves or with their homegirls or with their homies, you know what I mean? Not when they're with their fam, you know what I mean? That's disrespectful, you know what I mean? Like, their family had nothing to do with their choice of choosing this life for you to be putting them through this, you know what I mean? Because there's repercussions, you know what I mean? For those kind of actions, depending on the neighborhood, you know what I mean? But most neighborhoods, have it established that way. You know, because from time to time it does occur where you'll have somebody that breaks those kind of rules, and then they'll have to get a little regulation, a DP. You know what I mean? You just can't be doing stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like I said, there's rules. People just can't be doing whatever they want. But anyway, so when it comes to the signs, throwing them up like that, I understand what people are talking about, but that's black gangs tend to do that more. Like that's more of like the black gang thing. I know that there's Hispanic gangs that some that do that stuff. You know what I mean? Because it's different from, we're talking about gang signs too. You're passing a message through, with your hands. You know what I mean? But that doesn't betray to gang signs. You know what I mean? That's different. You know what I mean? You need to pass a message through, but you can't verbally say it. So you know what I mean? But that in itself is something else. But yeah, so that's more of black neighborhoods do that. I know it's called like stacking. It's called stacking. But I don't really know like the whole lore behind that. You know what I mean? Because although black gangs, Asian gangs, whites, Hispanic, whatever, we share like certain common themes when it comes to like neighborhoods. We're not exactly the same. You know what I mean? Each side and race and all that does it a little bit different. You feel me? But I understand what people are talking about, because I do know that what homie that asked this question was talking about. He said that he's seen a documentary about MS and they do that, but that's MS like somewhere like in like the Midwest or like the East Coast. You know what I mean? The MS down here, you don't really see them doing that. You'll see them just throw up their MS sign or whatever. But to be doing all of that, they don't really do that down here. Maybe in other places they do all that. But at least down here, you don't see people doing all that. You don't see them doing all of that. You know what I mean? You'll see them just throw up their letter, and that's pretty much it. You know what I mean? When it comes to all of that. So in Southern California, you don't really have that. You know what I mean? But in other places, I do know that it occurs. But as for down here, it's just just throw up their the letter their neighborhood starts with, and that's pretty much it. You know what I mean? But this is a quick one. Just break it down that one. That's more of a black neighborhood thing, or more of like outside of California type. Because you don't really see that down here. But I'm saying I'm shadow weird.